So the Pokemon history, the formula, here's the problem. What happens is producers go, I know what kids want, and they don't know what kids want. They think they know what kids want, but they don't, so they try it with Pokemon. And it worked because Pokemon kind of just works no matter what you do with it, in my opinion. Because you have to catch them all. So, because you have to catch them all, you're a drug addict, essentially. And you're catching them all. So then the producers are like, hey, let's do the Pokemon formula on every show. And it'll be a hit. And it worked on some shows, like Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, I don't know if they were thinking this, but this is how it came across to me viewing it. And what happened was, and then it happened to Dragon Ball Z. And they're like, well, we can't do this, we can't do that. Well, let's make it cool for American audience, let's make it cool for this. And what I love about Dragon Ball Z Kai is Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is sanctioned by Akira Toriyama, by the way, who's overseeing this in Japan. What Dragon Ball Z Kai does, it proves that if you leave it the F alone, you can have an awesome hit show in America. Here. You know what kids want. You don't know what kids want. Did you go ask them? You know, so, well, we have 2 kids, my kids. Well, that ain't good enough. You know, and it was a big gamble. You know, Justin and I were talking first. He's like, I don't know. It's a big gamble. I'm like, I'm confident. I was so confident that it was going to be a success. And by the way, I think it's the #1 rated show Nicktoons has ever had. That's the Y7 version. I think the DVD's getting better. The Y7 version they still left a decent amount in, so I'm pretty happy with the Y7 version. And they have to do that for their rules and regulations and what have you. But, you know, there's this theme in anime in America that we need to completely own it ourselves and make it American and make it colloquial. But the Japanese are telling great stories. And I think one of the reasons Dragon Ball Z lasts for so many generations is because if you got a good story, I don't care what language it is, it's going to speak to the human heart and humanity. So this is a several hundred or thousand-year-old story, I can't remember the age, of the story of the Journey West and the legend of the Monkey King and Sun Wukong. And it's told in a sci-fi format. Now, I didn't learn that until after I got on the show, but it's kind of like, you know, Clash of the Titans and the Greek myths. They just get told over and over because they're awesome stories. So don't mess with them. Just let it be. They're doing a perfectly good job. But you didn't mess with it. And I have been Goku for 10 years now. When I watch it, I catch it every night on Nicktoons and I try to get the DVDs. I am like, you know, for a guy who should be sick of the character, I'm glued to the TV. And I'm not going, oh, they're going to posture for 2 more weeks now? Are they going to yell at you? I mean, I got bored too. It was like, I'm stronger than you. No, I'm stronger than you. No, I'm stronger than you. No, I'm stronger than you. Can we have some story, please? So with the music and the cast choices, and I'm blown away by Frieza. I'm just blown away by Frieza. Every time I watch it, my skin crawls like, oh boy. Awesome stuff. So for those of you who are purists, I've always been in your camp. My hands are tied in a lot of ways, and when I did the work at NYV Post as director, that's more of a better example of what my vision of localization of anime is. But to say, you know, that's what I wanted to say about DBZ Kai. It's just, if you hadn't watched it yet, you're a purist, watch it, because it is definitive Dragon Ball Z. It's the Kai. You know, I think it means king, right? So it is really the definitive one as far as I'm concerned. So that's all I wanted to say about that. You can go to Q&A or whatever.